Sorry, trying to get this phone stand. I should probably do some of this stuff before I start the live, you know? Well, I'm already running low on shade. Good morning. I feel like it's past morning, even though it's still pretty early. Good morning, everybody. A bit later this morning. What happened? Sometimes y'all see everybody at the same time I see everybody, so if somebody sees somebody wounded or something, let me know. It looks like YouTube's back on course now. Good morning, Nikki. Woo! The sun is moving a little bit in my shade. Is moving. We're already running low on shade. But it's not supposed to be crazy hot today. They said the humidity was going to be down. Freaking telemarketer calling me. You guys may lose volume for a second. It's not good when I'm already down to no shirt before 10. Oh, she's good. She wants to eat down there. Roxanne. Get her hid where she can't see her eat. Don't worry, Ruth is my baby. Yeah, they're all hungry right now. They finished up their bale of hay. I've got another one waiting on them. I'm trying to let them clean it up a little bit more. I mean, they're not really hungry, but they also love it. For cow treats, cow treats. We're ready to start feeding them treats back on the old videos. I think we got all that stuff squared away now. How's everybody doing today? Trust me, we do lots of treats every day. Sometimes it's kind of a pain in the butt with Rufus, but you got to pay the tab. Somebody's got to pay the tab. I had to go to the doctor this morning to get my annual checkup. Turns out I'm still a happy young lad. With no health issues, really. Roxanne, you are such. My dad. I never see my dad call anything a bitch besides a cow. Uncooperatively. I hate the word myself, but every time that she does that, that comes into my head. And it was always the cow that was the one that was just being hateful for no reason. You know what I mean? My dad also called female dogs, female coyotes. They were all a bitch, and he would call your dog that instead of a female. And that's not in a bad way. Like, that's just what I guess they called them. in the old days, you know. But he was also old. As he got older, he was also like to push people's buttons. Good looking bitch you got there. Not your wife, your dog, or something like that is what he'd say. Nah, he wouldn't. Right circumstances, he would. I enjoy calling them by the wrong sex intentionally just to mess with people. Oh, good girl. You can see a big old set of cods hanging down and everything. All my babies. You gotta appreciate days like this, okay? So when nobody's limping, everybody's in good shape, nobody's having birthing problems, nobody's big and pregnant and limping. No, we're not talking about you, baby. Everybody's just fancy and just living the dream. I don't really like getting behind Rufus, so let's go ahead and do that. I just want to give you guys a different angle. There's my little cow deck. Ruby has not been fed yet. I don't know if y'all can't, I don't know that you can tell. I want to show y'all one thing. That Brahmin blood, that's Rhonda, but you see the size of that bone? And then that's Rufus, which is gigantic. Now she's a cow, so when we combine them two, you're gonna get that giant bone frame underneath a Rufus cow. And then if you look at, let's look at her for instance. Now she's crossed, so she's not full blood, so she just has half the frame. So we're trying to build us it'll come. What fun would it be if we had a bull calf right off the bat out of Rufus, you know what I mean? It's not near as good. Oh my God, look at the frickin' scratch on her. See, I hadn't walked around yet. Wow. Well, it's not through the skin is a good part. Ruth, how in the hell? We're gonna definitely have to treat that here in a minute. I don't think I got any of that wound care. I'm afraid to get too close right there. Yeah, it's not through the hide. Thank God. Well, we were being thankful, and then look what happens. But it's not bad. It's not bad. It looks worse than it really is. It's not through the hide. It just shaved the hair down to the skin. It's one good thing about cows is they're wrapped in leather, and she's white, which makes it even worse. So where in the hell would you have done that at? That, I don't think could have been done with a tree limb. But there's nothing in here. I even had the corral shut. Well, nobody else has a scratch like that. It's a weird spot. Gotta be a tree limb. What happens is Rufus breaks that shit off. No, it's a tree limb. Rufus breaks those tree limbs off, and he breaks them off real jagged, itching on them. And he's probably broke one off. We'll look for it here in a little bit. But I don't see anything on anybody else. She probably got, I mean, there's nothing really on this stuff to cut them. Fence posts are too tall. She's got into a stub off a treetop, which well, the wood won't cut them through their hide. That's one good thing about it. But the metal post is what worries me. So she's gonna have a little mark there for a day or two. Oh, 100% guarantee it was either Roxanne or Rhonda whirled her and pushed her. And she was trying to escape is why it's lengthy. Oh, it's very obvious to what happened. I don't want anybody to think bad about these two. But that's part of it. She'll have horns someday. And I don't know that she'll ever be. She'll have their respect. The purple pill. No pills today. No, nothing changed. We're good. We're in good health today. I don't know that she'll ever have the attitude to be ornery, which is good because she has horns. I don't know. She's just such a good, calm-natured. Purple pill, it flushes your bloodstream. It flushes everything. It's like you only get one pill at the pharmacy, and it breaks those crystals up. Basically dilutes that uric acid, or whatever the hell it was called. It's hot out here right now, let me tell you. Oh, Ruth. Ruth is, but she's young, and like right now, you see how she's doing right now. She needs to, like the older cows know not to get in a freaking corner. So she hasn't figured it out yet. She needs to get out of the corners. She loves going in a corner. Well, what happens in a corner? You get cornered. So if she goes into a brush pile head first, and the other girls want to be in her spot, then they push her. I noticed the bow legs. Not really sure what that was about. Who's got bow legs? Yes, it flushes your out. Hi, Brent. How can I find your page? How can I'm sorry, the glare is on my phone. Find your video of the reporter coming out. Try to search for it. Linda, you know what? I got mad at TikTok and started taking all my content down. And I might have taken it down. I don't know that I put it on here, but I can. What happened? Did I miss something? J-Mac. Oh my God, I need some shade. Just so I can see my screen. I'm trying to get me some sun here. What do you see, Roof? Locked in on something over there. Stop being lazy. Hit the like button. There you go, Nikki. Look, here we go. Everybody knows after breakfast, we come with Paul. And what else do we do? Who can say it? Who can name what else we do right now? Hurry. We poop. There it is. Gross. Isn't that weird? I say this every time too. I don't know where that particular poop comes from, but it ain't where regular poop comes from. I'm gonna have to do some searching on that. Roof. What shall we talk about today? Look at this. Oh, look at her. She's such a dingbat. Oh my God. Bullshitting first thing in the morning. I like the way you put that. He's got a pretty solid routine, and then once he does that, he itches on the tree, then he itches on the feed trough. I think we could pretty much pattern him. Ruth licking his neck. Some kind of hormones, some kind of glands from there to the top of their back right up there. All the cows will lick him in that area. I don't know, but he's looking pretty good. He's lost a little dab of weight, which is good. I'm gonna have to get somewhere I can get this glare off my screen. Hey Brent, downtown Featherston Sunday out now for the 6th floor acquired with the Rufus company. Everyone was in a better mood. Thank you. Phone umbrella. Somebody sent me some phone umbrellas. I need a bigger one. Come on, man. Oh, we're doing a double. We're gonna do a double poop today. Who'll be Rowdy's girlfriend? So Rowdy will be able to breed Rhonda, Ruth, Roro. He'll have 3. Now I can't see my screen because of the dust. Hey Brent, yesterday I was researching cattle, and everything that Brent is teaching us has completely right. I don't know about everything. You know, I use my perspective on things. I am a little bit disappointed in the cattle farmers that are just really going on rants on social media, because everybody's been living in high cotton. Everybody's been in high cotton for about 5 years now. And the only problem I have with that, like, good for them, good for all of them, you know. But the only problem I have is the older farmers that were years ago were doing it for pennies and working their ass off. They couldn't afford, like, it was such a. Brad, you did not see Lisa's. Oh shit, I missed something. Lisa, thank you so much, Lisa. We've started some pretty healthy framing in the house now, so I wanted it to have enough to show you guys something substantial. Thank you, Linda. Lisa, thank you tremendously. Can y'all see my phone in my head? I'm trying to use my fat head to block the sun off right here. But the old farmers, they didn't have enough money to, like, if a cow was worth $300 or $400, you had to really watch what you spent on it. You know what I mean? Like every bale of hay, every treatment of fly spray, every vaccination, everything you did was really easy to surpass their value. So if you're running a business, we all know, once you go past the value of the animal that you're going to sell, you ain't going to stay in business long. We were with them yesterday on the end of the live. We were with all them over there. We may be in there again today. I don't know. You just never know what's going to go on. I'm looking at that damn scratch on Ruth. It goes all the way from her front. It goes from her front shoulder all the way back. It actually starts about right there somewhere. Luckily, it was wood and not barbed wire, or it would have cut through the hide. It was down low. Whenever you shave all the way down into basically to the skin level where the hide starts, you can see, like, she didn't even bleed, because what it did was it shaved all the hair off the skin, but it did not break the skin. Yeah, I don't know that I want a cow deck roof exactly. Like, I don't want to just put a roof on it, but you know what I mean? I like being out in the open. We'll see how many months we end up in the sun. Maybe I'll drill a hole in one of these posts and put one of them damn pool umbrellas up. You know what? I can make it out in the sun though for a long time. I might grab a little bit. Would you listen to this stupid? I mean, she's licking the molasses out of that thing. I ain't never seen a cow. You'll probably never ever see a cow. I've never in my life ever. I can't even tell you guys how much I've never seen a cow that is so obsessed with eating as that one right there. She literally acts like she's been getting that shot if they get injured really bad. That forces them to eat. Um, and she acts like it all day, every day. It's actually crazy. I've wormed her. I thought maybe she was wormy, so she was feeling hungry. I've tried feeding her all kinds of different hay. If I feed her the real good hay, then she gets so freaking fat. But everybody else needs it. Look at her. She has a freaking 400-pound calf nursing on her. She should be skinny. I say all this that I'm the problem. You know what I mean? Like, it's like when your mom doesn't care that you did something wrong because they're your mom. That's me. We can all identify the problem. Roxanne, you're huffing and puffing because you hyperventilated yourself in a frickin' sack and breathing your own air. You goober smooch. Listen to her. And your fat is shoving in on your lungs, making it hard to breathe. It's kind of like me. I'm a huge enabler, man. I can chew your ass and then give you the reasons to not be upset about it. You know what I mean? Like, I'll give you, I'll make excuses for you. Terrible about that. That's part of the, remember we told about the personalities? That's part of the dove, parrot, owl calculating. Where most of the time you'll see that really driven, A to B driven course track of the eagle, but they don't really care what gets in the way. You got to have those people. You got to have all the people to make everything work. Me and Amanda are opposite, so opposite when it comes to shit like that. I watched that movie where what's the name of that damn movie? Oh man, it was a rough one. I was home by myself and I watched it. And I don't really watch movies, but it's the one where the little girl gets her arm bit off by the shark and she's a surfer. Whew, somebody should have warned me about that, man. I was with the dad the whole time. I was like, man, we could fix this. We could fix something on this board. We could fix something. That's the fixer. Me and him had the same exact personality. Like I could tell. Does anybody know the movie I'm talking about? I don't know. It's a pretty girly movie, but it's on a true story too. They did. Good luck watching that tearjerker. I'm glad nobody was home. Your husband is a dove and you're a dove? How do y'all get anything done? Debbie? Yeah, I'm trying to slow down the chat here. Blue wave or something. I don't know what it was, but it was Soul Surfer. Something about that little girl and her dad, just like really hit home. Maybe because I got one about that age or something. I missed a super chat. I probably did. Wish I could see shit. My mom just suffered a stroke while in surgery, thank God. She is slowly recovering. You and BB Channel have kept me sane during this. Mike, sorry to hear that. Wait, is this same Mike that was chewing my ass about Pepsi? Man, I appreciate that, and I appreciate. I hope she gets better. We'll say a prayer for her, or I'll say a prayer for her. It's funny that you get to meet a lot of people on here, get to know a lot of people, and with the Dove personality, I'm literally friends with every human I've ever worked with, still to this day. I know that sounds hard to believe. That's why I like try not to be. Now I may not have your name saved in there, but I can find you. Roxanne, I don't want to be licked. Thank you, baby. What up? Yeah, we don't do politics on here. I hate that too because some people go on rants on here and I'll see their comments from the past and I just got a rule that if you post something just going on a rant. Now listen, I'm not asking you can go on anybody else's page and do it, but unfortunately I block people. I'm just not giving I'm not dealing with it. Nobody wants to deal with it. We're on here, Soul Surfer, that's it. We're on here. You can go anywhere you want right now and watch all the political shit you want to watch. I just want to talk about the beef thing because, well, it's pretty relevant to what we're doing here. But what I was saying is I feel bad for those old farmers that did it for pennies on the dollar. And unfortunately, it's going to take, we probably, the beef industry probably will never catch up. It just takes too long. So, oh, member of the month, Mike. Member for 2 months, Mike. Thanks for being there, Mike. But I don't think the beef industry will ever catch up. Think about it. Think about it for a second. Like, if we're behind, that heifer, you have to have that heifer. We all know about how old she is. And then she has to be 16 months old to have a baby. So then if she gets pregnant at 16 months old and she got 9 months before she has the calf, then that calf has about another year before it can be sold. So you're talking 3-4 years. Thing if the chicken industry, actually that would recover faster, but if the chicken industry had something happen and knock out all the laying hens that were producing the eggs for the fertilized eggs, it would take a year for that chicken to start laying an egg again. If you started from scratch, so it'd take a couple years. So much time and money invested in cows. My doves are coming in here. It's about time for the doves to migrate through here. Well, we got Roxanne over here steaming up me. We got Rowdy, he's bedded down. We got Ruth over here picking up every little kernel of everything. And Rufus just went into the pond, I'm pretty sure. Roro's right behind him. Roxanne's shaking the whole deck. I'm gonna try to clean up inside the house today. Can I pet Rowdy? Um, a little bit, but not a whole lot. He's just got that spooky personality. He'll come around. He'll come around right before he gets figures out he's a bull, and then he'll go nuts. Brenda's going to take. Yeah, I don't know that there is, dude. I don't. I. It's gonna take. The problem is the population keeps growing. The demand is still there. Really, the only way to fix it is to import beef. The problem is these young farmers have spent fortunes on cows, and they don't want to see the price on them go down. So the only way for our country to recover is to allow those cows to stay on the farms longer. Oh yeah, Cookies will have pond access right there, actually. Oh yeah, did y'all see him? Well, okay, we got to quit calling it him because I think it's a her. We don't know for sure, but I call it it. And man, he goes, "It's not it. It's Cookies." And I'm like, okay, okay, Jesus, that will be fun. That thing set down in that water deal just like a duck. How many acres of what? Oh, this is only about a 50-acre farm, but these small farms like this is what make up the whole half, no, over half the beef industry in the U.S. These calves all sold at about 600 pounds, and they grow them out to about 1,200 pounds, and then they go to slaughter. Don't worry, these guys will never get butchered. So you had a physical? No, I didn't have like a physical. I just went in and how deep is the pond? It's actually about, believe it or not, I had a D6 dozer right there in the bottom, right over top of Rufus's back, in the top of the roll cage, come to about the water line now. So I'd say it's about, if the pond's full, I'd say it's about 15 foot. Um, right now, I'd say it's a little over 10. Oh yeah, it's full of fish. They still look good, so the bottom's still cold. We had a few die early this year. I don't know what happened. I think they're just older and shit. Yeah, it's gonna take forever for the beef. But what's happened? It's kind of like the price of gas or oil or whatever. Once they see the consumers will pay that consistently, then that shit ain't ever gonna go down at the store. Like it ain't ever gonna go down. Does anything ever go down? No, not really. What? Here's one thing I can't, and maybe if we got any beef people on here, can you explain this to me? So used to used to could used to you would breed Black Angus because it was the best quality meat and some of the highest quality, so it would bring more per pound at market. Now I'm talking back when cows were 70 cents a pound for a great butcher age steer. So 1,000 pound steer would cost you $700. So they would grow that hybrid, not really hybrid, it was just a really good pure Black Angus. So now the price is 350 to $4 a pound for the same 1,000 pounder. Um, but now even her, even Ruth here, is going to bring 350, maybe 20 cents cheaper. I gotta quit moving the camera. Maybe 20 cents cheaper a pound or something, 30 cents cheaper a pound. Basically, if it's beef with hair on it, it's bringing premium. I missed something else. Rodney. Rodney, happy birthday. You lazy bastard. I don't know if you're lazy or not. Usually I misidentify people, but if you're here right now, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. Most likely, you should be doing something else. Lizzie, member of the month also. Member for 2 months. I don't see. How far back was it, man? I got my head up my ass today. My screen is just like a giant mirror. Anyways, they could have me telling somebody happy birthday or something. I don't even know. Happy birthday, Rodney. Do y'all ever slip a comment in like that? Just be like, Brent, you missed one. Well, the problem, here's the thing when farmers watch my videos and stuff and me saying I don't sell my cows. Well, it's because of everybody, the 669 people here watching and the millions that watch around is the reason I am lucky enough to be able to keep all mine. Um, Otherwise, you can't feed hundreds of dollars a month and then thousands of dollars a year. And then all the stuff we do costs money. So I've been called a hypocrite because I can keep my cows. And I can understand that. But I've also worked my ass off to be able to keep these cows. And it may not seem like, it may seem like some stupid videos, but we spend hours and hours. My screen time on my phone, just watching stuff, editing stuff, is generally average is 10 hours a day is my average. So how do I get anything done? Is no, I put a lot of time and effort into it. I was watching my page last night, and I watch my page a lot to see if I'm slacking or if I'm not making as good a content and stuff. And I'm like, I told Amanda, I was like, you know what? I would watch me. Maybe one of these days I can retire and Brandon here and I can watch them. Rodney, your birthday is on a Thursday. How old are you, Rodney? You can give us a rough estimate. Can we hear your occupation? How old are you, or are you gone? If I miss it, somebody tell me. Rodney is 60. Okay, Rodney's put his time in. Rodney. Well, Gigi, I'm extremely proud of these guys. I just don't like I like to be as humble as I can. But here's the problem I have is I've never had cool stuff like a cow deck. So I like to show off my cow deck and my cow porch. And I like to show this stuff. I ain't never had cool stuff. I never had a truck with a lift kit on it before. And luckily Rough Country sent me one. Not like a good one, like the super cheap one that breaks everything and it's a piece of shit. And everybody's like, well, what do you need to lift the truck? Well, look at this freaking place. You know, this is as good as it's ever looked. If you ain't never had, you guys watch that guy. I think his name is Rich, something like that. Rich. He runs equipment all the time. He makes for little short videos. That stuff he's doing. He cracks me up. Just little short videos, but I don't even know that he's on YouTube or not. But he just tells the little short things that are happening to him right at the time. Like he's building a pond, and it cracked me up because he was on the side of the dike right there, and he was tracking sideways around like a bowl. And if you ever been on a dozer and you roll a big rock up underneath the track on the high side, it'll flip you over real easy. Anyways, one of those videos was like, if you ain't ever had your butt pucker up tighter than a snare drum, you ain't never rode a dozer around the edge of a pond bank, hit a rock. So I started watching him for that, but he's got a lot of followers, but he's been getting he literally started with nothing. I've been following him for years, but he started getting a lot of hate. He bought a new 4-wheeler and he got a new truck. I've always had the same 4-wheeler, and I always trade my truck as soon as I can afford, as soon as my payment gets back to where I left off. And I know that's a crazy way to look at it, but I used to travel so much, I probably shouldn't have bought this one because I don't know that I'm going to go back to work. Yeah, she's staying that last little bit of shade. I made a video last night, and I tried to show a lot of the stuff that people have sent. Of course, there's been tons and tons of oatmeal cream pies sent to me. Oh, Ross is somewhere, Mike. Who knows? Mike, is that your last name? Is that Schultz? I worked with a girl, and her name was what was her last name? From Texas. Carla Roberts. Thank you. How do you pronounce that? Carl Roberts. If y'all don't know yet, I'm very, very dyslexic. If there's you guys, oh man, I knew I should have went live from my other phone. Which basically means I can't read, and I will make a sentence and I will change the whole sentence because of one word in it that I'm not sure how to spell it. And then I will try to spell that word so many times that even my auto correct won't be able to figure out what I'm trying to say. Everybody's even stopped trying to correct me. Yeah, I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it. I change entire subjects. Hey, ask me to read in front of a room. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody. So here we are. My daughter is too, Paisley, and I feel terrible for her because I see her stressing out at night, worried about stuff for tomorrow. And I remember just like if there was something the next day and at school, a lot of kids don't have to take that home with them because they don't really care. It doesn't stress them out. But if you're dyslexic and there's something coming up where you got to read something, do something, be in front of people, I didn't know I was dyslexic until we went to school when Paisley. They brought us in for Paisley, and they were explaining it. I just thought I was stupid. So, ready names. Thank you. I never thought I was stupid. I just didn't understand why I couldn't read correctly and why I would read a sentence with words that did not go there, but in my head, the word was correct. And you can see it on my thumbnails on here. Just scroll for a second. You'll see it. It'll show up. Don't worry. I get so mad too because on a lot of the platforms you can't change your thumbnail. So you can't fix it. So I used to worry about that, but now I'm like, nah, fuck, they know what I'm talking about. They don't like it. Correct me. No, I use a lot of words incorrectly. Oh, there's that red squirrel that's been kicking, what do we call them? Everyone has their talents and gifts. He wants to come up here and get him a little feed out of that trough. Oh, Earl, I think that's the squirrel that kicks Earl's ass. Let's see if it's a boy or a girl. We're gonna have to name this red squirrel. It's a boy. God dang, that thing got a set of nuts underneath of them the size of Rufus's. That's a pretty young red squirrel. It's funny that if you hunt squirrels growing up, because you made meals, you would identify the younger ones versus the older ones because they were a lot better to eat. If you shot a bunch of old ones, it was like chewing on a ping pong ball. So in my house, you ate anything that you shot. So you would be a little bit more particular on those older ones versus the younger ones. The gray squirrels, like Earl, he's pretty dang young. Those are the best ones. What do they taste like? If you don't do like the 50 different tricks to them that everybody does so that they just taste like a piece of meat, they taste about like a piece of that tree bark right there. They've got a definite tree taste. I mean, they climb trees all day and they eat the nuts from all the trees. So squirrel is cooked correct, like squirrel and dumpling is pretty good. It's pretty good. Well, just think about it. It takes about, I don't know, 4 or 5 at least. If you don't get at least 4 or 5, it's not more deal. But we would go and we would get about, I don't know, a dozen, and then you'd boil those for a while, and then if you had chicken broth was the best, you get some chicken broth put in there, and then you would make drop-in dumplings, and it was good. Bone in too, whole squirrel, and then they would just fall apart. I think about that now, and I think about trying to make that for Amanda, and she would absolutely freak out. I'm telling you. They have the Great Squirrel Cook-Off in Bentonville, Arkansas. I don't know the name of it exactly, but it's something like that every year. I think that's pretty weird. It is a tree rat. They're herbivores, like a little bit different than a rat, but not much. Oh man, he sounded so cool the other morning. I put that at the end of that video, but if y'all watch that video where Rufus pushes the cart off, he actually talked a little bit that day. It was cool that morning, see? It was a cool morning, so I tried to get down there and fix some fence and shit, so I knew he'd be fired up. Hey, everything is. Think about that. Think about a beaver, a muskrat, nutria rat, a squirrel. All those are is rats, like all the way through. Have you ever looked at a beaver up real close? Rat, groundhog, rat. Never did eat a groundhog, but I understand they are a lot of really light meat, like white meat. Now, a freaking beaver, me and Hagen we trapped some beavers off a guy's property that were chewing trees off, and it was making a death trap for his horses. Nikki, here's for the umbrella on the porch. You know, just as you say that, the sun has moved enough now. I came back into the shade. The Lord is smiling down upon us today. Rabbit's good. We had a lot of rabbit. We raised rabbits to sell, so those white ones, European or whatever they're called. We did not eat our chickens, though. A lot of people eat chicken in the country, but chicken was provided you with eggs. So the chickens were not to be eaten. That's why when somebody came, some special guest came, you'd kill a chicken and that fried chicken or whatever. That's pretty big deal. I know. Fried chitlins. We did everything old school. My dad was old school. We scalded hogs and rendered down the lard. And man, I hated that. I hated the lard render. It's because we would do it outdoors a lot of times, and it was really hard to control the heat. And lard, you can scorch it, okay? And if you scorch it, it smells bad. It already smells bad. Butter, no, no. We bought butter, or we got the big old fried rendered down is used to back when you killed a hog, they would have tremendous amount of lard. Nowadays the hogs are more lean. They don't have that big giant lard. What'd I say? Oh, I got sidetracked, didn't I? I don't know why Nikki sent that. She's making me mad sending this stuff when she helps me so much. I told her not to do that. Is why. But thank you, Nikki. Let's stop it at the same time. Nikki is like, what would you call her? My work wife. Everybody's got them. Well, what's funny was Hagen works at the co-op, and there's a girl up there that helps him straighten out his stuff and fill out stuff and all that stuff. And I said, "That's your work wife." And he's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, yep, that literally." My forehead still hurts from Rufus's weather report. Man, I know so many people knew that was coming and they still watched. They waited for it. Yeah, I'm not moving that wood block. That's so much and it's treated too, so it's gonna be there for years. I actually tripped over it. Um, well, I don't know if you can see or not. It's gonna blow your mind. But look, they're everywhere. They're starting to grow now. Look at them. There's one. Where's my finger? There's one, two, three. I don't know how them so much has got everywhere now. They're growing. It's gonna be like thistles. Let's let them all walk off down there and we'll go see where they go. 1 month member, thank you for being a member. I set up, I don't know if y'all saw it or not, but I set up a members only live. I think it is, and I was really just trying to see how to do it. Oh, the wooden blocks. Somebody give me shit about these wooden blocks. Well, they didn't see all these. There's probably a dozen over there. I think my little niece and nephew carried those down there and was trying to stack them up or something. But I made a members on live, trying to figure out how to do it for sure. And I'll probably still screw it up. Coming up like Pepsi, oh yeah. I've got a video. I've got that. I forgot. I told Amanda about that last night. And she goes, "You know you videoed that, right?" And I was like, "Oh, did I?" Well, he was giving a weather report. Roxy ain't gonna clean her baby right out there. Did y'all get a notification today? Pepsi was the first thing I saw. Okay, good. Yeah, it's something around that 22nd to the 25th ish. It just kind of cod locks on here. Clover, she's good. She's going to be coming over here. When we get over here, she's going to be living in the corral. She's going to be like a tank in here. She looks, I told Amanda we should paint her and make her look like a ladybug, because that's what she looks like. Redford's a little bit more dangerous to get up there to. Get the phone underneath there. You know what I mean? I know. My wife is very modest, I guess is the word for it. So when I tell her about ideas that are like semi dirty, she's like, absolutely not. So she is a good, we're good partners, because I would be off the deep end probably by now. Oh my God. I drove over here today. We had storms literally all around us again yesterday. I had storm warnings all over my phone, and like everything just kind of blew up as it went over us. And I came over here praying that a little bit of rain, not a drop. We're okay. We can afford to buy hay. We're still in good shape. There's probably somebody out there with that's needing it worse than me. Yes, Amanda is both her parents actually were police officers. And believe it or not, they welcomed me right in. 3 kids, been divorced. So either she was wild and I was less wild, or maybe they just, I don't know. I would have ran me off. Some little boy walked up to me at the football game and said, "Hello, sir. I'm friends with Amanda, or not Amanda, but Paisley." And I was like, "Okay." I just happened to be holding a baseball bat, and he said his name, and he shook my hand. I said, "Okay, big deal." Amanda was so mad. I was like, "You won't be around long enough for me to need to know your name, bud. Scooch on down the road." Yeah, I'm not dealing with that. I'm trying to put the fear into everybody. You're not gonna. We don't even need to know your name. You're good. Move along. But he did a good job. I will say that. But that's been about a year or so ago. Now, guess who doesn't get introduced to anybody after a couple of those from Kalamazoo? Yeah, last night she came in the room and she was like, "Dad, could you leave the room for a second? I need to talk to Mom." And I was like, uh, "Excuse me, I'm one of the girls too. So let's hear it. Somebody messing with you? Who is it? What's her last name?" Paisley goes, "Why do you just ask me what somebody's last name is?" I said, "I just want to know who their last name is." Right? Now I don't get introduced to people anymore, which is good. I have a feeling when I do get introduced to somebody again, it's not going to be good. It's going to be like, you know what I mean? Like one of those times. I don't know. I feel sorry for whatever boy ends up trying to date her. That's all I can say. Good luck. Good luck. Not for me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, good luck dealing with her after what I put her through in life and showing her everything. And um, good luck. I wanted her to see the world and what all is out here. all of my kids, if I beat anything into their heads, I said, don't agree with me because I'm your dad. Make your own opinion, make your own conclusions of things, and use your own brain. May not be the same with me. Oh, yeah, she's sharp. We get Amanda all the time, and it pisses her off. And Amanda will be going on a rant because Paisley rage baited her. And I'm like, babe, she did that on purpose. And Paisley just look at me and smile. And I'm like, and Amanda's like, oh, man. Why are kids meaner to their mom, though? I don't understand that. You really are. Like, kids are usually more aggressive towards their mother. Like, they have less patience with their mom. Is that not weird? Like, am I the only one that sees that? Like, mom gets a shitty end of the stick. Is it like me and Rufus have had to make him mind a little bit and give him shots and stuff so he doesn't like me as much? I don't know. We're more emotional. I don't understand what it is. Like, I see it in even adults talking to their parents. I see myself being a little bit short of my mom, and I try to correct that, but like, I'm like, why is it? Teenagers, it's like, but it's all the way like through kids, like little kids, you know what I mean? You replied personally, that's okay. Well, like me and my daughter, like she never my side. Like I got up at 5 a.m. She got up at 5 a.m. She was up tying her shoes before I had my boots on, and like there was no questioning she was going with me for that day, especially a Saturday Sunday and before she was in school. And she's kept that up. She's a 5 a.m. 5 to 6 a.m. Why are the boys not nice with dad? Oh, boys are so much slower at maturing, and then like they stay. Like I could take my boys out here to go deer hunting, and my boys would be like, "There's a squirrel. Let's shoot the squirrel, Dad. Let's shoot the squirrel." At 10 years old, and my daughters were always like, "There's a buck. Well, we've seen bigger. Let's wait on a bigger one." Like we weren't distracted. You know what I mean? Like, does that make sense to anybody? They weren't distracted by a squirrel wanting to shoot everything. They were hunting, and they wanted to harvest something bigger. Like the girls were always leaps and bounds ahead of the boys. Now my oldest son is very intelligent, um, so I can't say that it was lack of intelligence or something like that. But I know J Dog, my boys were like literally. What's so funny is Hagen has been going with me places, and um, I know the movie. Yeah, well, he looks just like me. So the only bad part. Um, Otherwise, I would agree with you. But my boys, Hagen goes with me now, and I'm like, he gets in the truck after we're doing something, we went snagging, we went fishing over in Oklahoma, and he drove, and he gets to the truck, and I couldn't help but like just taking longer to get to the truck, and like in that exact spot, he left his fishing pole one time and threw a huge fit about me driving all the way back. It was like an hour and a half to get his pole. And he got in the truck and it was like 100 degrees. He fell down, hurt his leg in the rocks. This is just the other day. He's 18 years old. So I was dying laughing because I he had hurt himself. He didn't catch anything. He drove. Um, I'm dying laughing because I drag ass get into the truck with my stuff, and I'm rattling around, and like he's got some really nice fishing rod stuff, and I've got some older snagging rods, and I throw my shit in the back of the truck without even looking for his, just wham, just the shit that they did to me, and I slam his door when I get in. I've got trash all on the floorboard. I'm just kicking it around. He's like, hey, 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 um, I'm shutting the tailgate with the fishing rod tip sticking out the back, like, and then he gets in the truck. I look over at him, the sweat's just running down his face. He's just hotter than shit. And I'm like, can you imagine this all happening and then you looking me dead in the face and telling me that you wish I hadn't even have brought you? When you were younger, you were like, this sucked, Dad. This was terrible. I wish we hadn't even came. Why would we even come to do this? You know what I mean? And if you're a parent, you got kids, you've heard it. I don't care. Imagine doing all that. Fall and hurt your leg, helping me get all my shit, spending money on tackle, getting everything in, and then having your kid go, well, sure wish we hadn't even came. This was a shit deal. you know? So I started saying, well, wish we hadn't even came. You know it. This just, and he's just looking at me with sweat pouring off of him. It was like we switched roles for a few minutes, and it was like the best thing ever for me. They would push each other in the lake, so they'd know I want to go fishing. Well, they wouldn't want to go fishing. It'd be kind of cool outside, so one of my two boys would push the other one into the lake. Well, they'd be soaked. Well, then we couldn't go fishing. I'd have the boat off the trailer, have everybody's life jackets ready to go, have bait going, spend all this money, all this time. Somebody gets shoved in the lake, we can't go fishing. Load the shit back up, drive back to the house. You know, so I'm like, can you imagine all that? And he's looking at me, he's just dying to, because he's like, man, we did so much of that. I love seeing the role change. I don't know what she just said, but it was great to see him just really exhausted, hot, sweaty, didn't catch anything, and then I was going to start complaining, and then I knew it was Sunday, and I got him all revved up to go to Chick-fil-A on the way. And he was like, yeah, Chick-fil-A. I was like, I'll buy. Just go to Chick-fil-A. We'll get Chick-fil-A. I know it's closed. Man, you don't want to fuck with me as a parent, okay? I will ruin your day as a kid. I have way more knowledge and I have money and chainsaws and stuff now. So you do not want to take on this kind of problems, okay? It is not for the faint of heart. My kids know I will destroy your day, your week. We're all going down together. Oh man, he saw the parking lot was just dead empty, not a car in it. I was like, oh good, we're the first ones. And then you're already built up for that sandwich, man. You're ready for that chicken. And I was like, son of a bitch. I can play it off like I didn't know nothing. But you know what? Pushed him in the lake. Had all the shit loaded. Pushed his ass in the lake multiple times. His brother did on purpose, and he pushed his brother in the lake, so we'd have to go back to the house. Or getting a knockout drag out in the boat, and everybody was tangled up in shit. Or leave his poles in the truck after we're 2 miles from the boat ramp. Um, you know, I got so many things. You're not supposed to pick at your kids. It's you're not supposed to harass your children. But you know what? In good humor, I think it's okay. But they're so gullible. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know. It's so weird. They'll bite into anything. Hagen's getting better though. He's not as easy to lead into that shit anymore. But I really got him, man. He was hot and sweaty, and he saw the Chick-fil-A when we came through, and like it was all set up. I took him to Burger King. Don't worry. It was not Chick-fil-A. It's like thinking about barbecue and your barbecue shop's closed. Like there's nothing else going to hit like barbecue. Dolly. I've got a horse named Dolly. When has Redford been rotated in here? Never. Redford will never be on this side. I mean, I say never, but he might. I mean, I want the two bulls to feel like they have solid borders. Um, why would he be on this side? He has his own side. He has his own pond. He has everything. He's going to have access to the barn. He's going to have his own run-in barn of some sort. Um, what I'm waiting on right now, I'm not really waiting on anything besides money. It just takes a lot of it. I'm waiting on the trees to lose their leaves. I already got this all planned out. I haven't got most of the material, but I got to run a dozer down the edge of my road and push in my fence line. And then where they put the guide wires to that stupid telephone pole is right where I'd planned on my gate being to turn big trucks in here so I could applicate some chicken litter and some different fertilizers without I have to have a way from the turn to get in here. Well, my road's pretty much parallel on my fence line, and I was going to make it at those guide wires. Well, that pretty much screwed me up. So now we're going to come up with a game plan there. But we get the dozer in here, get everything leveled out, the fence in. Redford will have access to half of this barn, him and his whole group. And then we'll build a run-in shelter up there. That's the same color material. But I got to have the dozer to push that out, make a little pad up there. I'm not going to make a great big barn up there, but it will have power in it, and it'll have everything that they need. I don't see them really utilizing this barn at all, except when we get a lot of rain or a lot of snow and ice. And I might have to lock them up in here, and I don't know how that's going to go yet, but I'm trying to see where they go to so I can see what stick rammed into Ruth. Yeah, if you don't like, that was somebody just being an asshole. That's fine though. She scratched her side on something. Somebody got her pinned in. She couldn't escape, and she scraped her hair. But we are getting closer. I do have my floors, all my seal plates down in my house for my floors or my walls to start going up. We got the part of the walls up. Yeah, I know it. I don't know if who all remembers when we first got Ruth, but she went through the ringer too. Or Rhonda, she went through the ringer too. Not Ruth, but Rhonda. Oh, trust me, Ruth is good. She's gonna go through the same stuff on either side. She's not related. Rufus only has 1, 2, 3 that he's not related to here. So is Amanda on here? Do we see the big boss pop in here? Yeah, straighten up. We did. Make the big boss a what? She don't want to watch my live. She has to listen to me talk all the day, anyways. She scraped her belly on something. Not too bad though. It's actually pretty big, but not like she's not cut. It's just a scrape. It didn't break the skin, but it's a big one. Like it's probably 16 inches long. It goes all the way to her front chest. Had to be on wood. Lucky got shot by one of the neighbors. That's what happened to Lucky. The neighbor did not know Lucky was on my place, and he had wandered way the hell off. And we have an ongoing war with wild pigs out here. And the reason I named Lucky Lucky was because I thought he was a wild hog the first time I saw him, and he almost didn't make it then. But then I realized there was something. He looked different. So, anyways, this sucked. What was bad is I told all the neighbors except for this one little old man, way off. He still has no idea. He just thought he was doing everybody a favor, and it was a wild hog. What's the chances of him even hitting him? 1 in a million. It was bad. My neighbor that knew I had him, he'd called him and said he had shot a wild hog out in his field, asked him if he wanted the wild hog. And then that neighbor called me and said, I'm so sorry. I should have told him also, but I'm pretty sure your pig just got shot. And I was like, oh no. And it was during the day. The wild hogs were never out during the day. Anyway, that's what happened to him. It sucked. I got down there. He was still alive, but it hit him and broke his back. It's part of being a farmer that sucks, is shit like that right there. Somebody's got to be responsible for all these guys. And hunting season was about to start, so we were going to paint them bright orange. But we'd already told everybody that deer hunted that we had him, except for that one freaking person. But I still, to this day, I was so shocked to how far he went. Like, I was in disbelief all the way up till I went and got him, that it was him. Yeah, it was just a bad deal. Yeah, it was just a bad deal. It happens. Nothing we can do about it. Like, he was literally, he was almost from my place, almost to that mountain back there. I don't know if you can see how far that is. There's a field and another small mountain between here and there, and he was damn near to there. And he was here he never left he had never left the horse pen. He was always there. He was there all morning. I just fed him, so I don't know what the hell got into him. He must have smelled something. But he showed up here. We took care of him. He had a great life while he was here. He showed up out of nowhere. He showed up on one of my cameras, and I was like, what in the hell is that? You know, I really wish I would have recorded him more, because he was always doing something crazy. I didn't record but maybe 10% because I took it for granted that he was going to be here, of what he did. But it was something else. Like, I'd never seen a pig attack bulls before. He really didn't attack them. Like, when they come walking up, he just stood his ground, and when they come closer to him, that son of a bitch would just bow up. And he was crazy. But he walked right up to Paisley. I had never even touched him. I was like, I don't even know what that thing is. It was a potbelly pig, pretty sure. And it had a big head, and it looked weird, had a short snout. And I'm like, I don't know what it is. Don't get near it. And Paisley, I come back, and Paisley's feeding it my breakfast, which was biscuits and gravy. And she's petting him. And I'm like, don't get near that thing, man. It's been acting crazy. And from then on out, every morning when I pulled in, I would order a full order, and I'd give him half my order. Hold the sausage for Lucky. But he was the only one of the boys around here that liked me. And it was kind of fun because I would walk out in the pen and he would run the bulls back when they were both together. I really enjoyed him. But he would just walk right out in the middle of them like he was some kind of shit, man. He would walk right underneath of their bellies and their feet of the horses and the bulls and everything, like nothing even existed except for him. And he would just flop over. And I'm like, dude, anybody could step on you. And he was only 40 pounds, less than 50 pounds for sure. Um, but he would walk right out in the middle of them and flop over, and there'd be hooves stamping around him. Sometimes the horses had shoes on. I'm like, man, they could. He would sleep like that. He would literally be snoring like that. I think I have one good video of him walking underneath all of them and just falling over. So we tracked down where he came from eventually. Took us a while. It was quite the ordeal. And we bought the baby that was supposed to have been out of him and another potbelly pig. World Wide Rufus people is a thing. It really is. Um, he didn't, man. Like, that thing was crazy. Well, I got to talking to the guy. They all disowned him basically until they figured out he had gotten shot. And then nobody wanted to fess up for him being theirs because they didn't want to have to pay for any damages to property or anything like that. So Clover is supposed to have been his daughter. But I talked to the guy that got him finally, and I said, listen, he didn't tear anything up. You don't owe no money, nothing. I just want to try to figure out where he came from. I'd like to get another one like him and or see where he came from. And the guy was like, well, he came from over in Oklahoma, and I can't take you where I got him, but I could get you another one where I got him. And I was like, can you tell me where you got him at and how you got him, or what? And he goes, well, you know the kind of people that like stuff explode at their house in the middle of the night, stuff like that. That's who we're talking about here. Without getting too crazy into this, but they don't have visitors or anything like that. So, anyways, he told me the story. He said he pulls up to get them, and he wanted two potbelly pigs, and he said he pulls up, and there's an old barn, and there's like a round pen like that, and it's got access to the barn. It's got a door in the barn, and they'd laid a bunch of 2x12s across the top of the panels, the pen. And he said the one guy, this is a great story, and this is absolutely 100% true. He said the guy laid a couple of 2x12s out across the panels and literally shimmied out on those 2x12s with a fishing net. And one of the other guys went in the barn, flushed them out of that hole, and they were all in that round pen. And he said it was just like a swarm of fish. And he said the guy's laying out there on his belly on these 2x12s. He takes the fish net, and he finally gets one in the net, and it rips a hole in the net. Then they fix the net, get another net, get another one caught in the net, and gets it up there to him. And it's like a huge ordeal. They finally get one caught, a little one. And the guy I'm talking to is like, man, he goes, he didn't look right. He didn't act right. He didn't look like a potbelly pig. He looked real weird. And he's like, can we get a different one? And they were like, no, it's this one or nothing. So that's where I bought him. So that's the story. And I was like, man, do you think they have another one that's crossed, whatever it is? And nobody wants to admit to having any wild pigs because it's not. I don't know that it's what it used to be. Um, but anyways, that's the story of where Lucky came from. And if you've seen the guy that was like, no, I'm good, I'd rather have a different one, you would never think he would ask that question. So I went and talked to him, and that's where he got him at. And then he had two pigs. He had bought two to raise them and sell them, I'm sure. And so I know there was another male around there, but his potbelly pig had babies, and she had one baby that lived, and that was Clover. So I bought Clover from him. Well, she's straight potbelly pig. She has no wild. So either she just got that gene from Lucky and from her mama. But Lucky was never going to be big. He was old. He was, 3 years old and was only 45 pounds. Wild hogs grow real slow. I know that's what he was. I'm telling you right now, the guy laid out on some boards, went out there with a fishing net, dipped up a baby. And I know why he dipped up the baby. It's because if you ever been in a pen with wild hogs, they will eat you up. So if it had just been potbelly pigs, they would have went in there and grabbed one. But no, there was a bunch of wild boars in there, I guarantee you. And the guy was catching the babies with a damn net. Got some of them big ones hung in the net, ripped the net all to shit. True story be told, that's what happened in my head. I trapped some. I had them in a pen over here. I don't know if y'all remember. Some wild hogs, some real razorbacks, red and all. Sin City. Thank you. So that's where Lucky came from. You know, the wild hogs, the wild pigs, like get a bad rap, but in here we don't have them like they do down in Texas, down in Oklahoma. We have a handful, and they're pretty well. They're not starved, and there's so many people around here that feed deer that the hogs are eating out of deer feeders, and I've even went so far as to put wormer in with my deer corn so it would worm the wild hogs, worm them, clean them out, flush them out, and then they're really good to eat if they've been eating out of your deer feeder. So if you're going to feed them and you worm them, you do everything to them, then when you harvest one, you take it to the butcher. You can, it's pork. It tastes just like any pork you've ever eaten in your life. I've eaten a lot of wild pigs. Now, where there's tons and tons of them, they're overpopulated and they're starving. Those look gross. They do look gross. These here, I've got a trap when they trapped in the cage. Oh, they're extremely vicious. Extremely. I've got a trap that stays right down there. It's fixed in one spot, and when we get them in here, we've gone 2 years, but unfortunately, I did see about 6 a few weeks ago on a camera. And I don't know where these boars keep coming from, but they're wild. They used to let domestic hogs pretty much run, and then they would catch them, and they would butcher them once a year. It's literally called the hog killing. The finger scares me. It's not a bad finger. That's my trigger finger, and I crushed it on this side right here so bad that my nail doesn't grow right through there, and my finger is numb. It's been numb since I crushed it, but it actually rounded back out like it's supposed to be. I smashed it back and made it round again on the end, but has no feeling in it. Some of the videos where I'm actually shooting a gun, I shoot everything with my middle finger. Only bone you broke in your pinky. Oh man, a horse broke that pinky one time right there. It's never been right again. That one's bad. That one hurt forever too. Fingers and toes are terrible to break. Yes, broken toes are terrible. You can't go anywhere without walking. I was trying to see where they were going to go down there. They haven't been staying underneath that tree. Oh, I bet Clover's 300 pounds. I'm not making that up either. If she's not 300 pounds, she's well over 250. Hogs are real deceiving with their weight. They carry a lot of weight. A hog is like a beef butcher's out at 60% of their body weight, and a hog is 70%, I believe. Something like that, 65 and 60 or something, depending on the breed. So we take a 1,000-pounder, you get 600 pounds of pork or 700 pounds of beef. One time I bought a pig from a guy that was just over 1,000 pounds, about 1,100 pounds. It was the biggest hog I've ever seen. Had him in a stock trailer, and he couldn't hardly turn around in it. Bought it from a friend of mine. Anyways, we took him, had him ground into sausage, whole thing, like 700 pounds of sausage, and gave it away to everybody at church and stuff. Needed food. Really good though. It was really good sausage. So we just kept him too long. The 6x6. Oh, the cows play with those. They were out here playing, what's that game where you stack them up? That was the biggest hog that I've ever owned. But I don't know that everybody realizes how big. Have you all seen Duncan? Wait, I missed something. Oh, Jenga. Yeah, Jenga. That's what the cows play at night. Everybody always wants me to give them a game. These cows have just about, I know everything looks rough, but when I doze this place off, when the dirt all settles, the rocks all come to the surface. The rocks all start sticking up. So now, these are part of my spillway. I'm trying to slow the water down out of there. But like these big limestones. Now that one right there is the old brush hog getter. You can see the brush hog is kissed at a time or two. But now I can take my rock rake and rake these things up. But this was all bulldozed dirt. This is where the house was. Yeah, so Duncan, I don't know who's been to a hog sale before, but you can, I'm talking, I think some of the biggest ones we saw were, 1,300 pounds. Are we back now? Oh, there's year round. You can hunt hogs here year round and at night. You can hunt them with a spotlight. You can do whatever you want to do. Yeah, I think it may be back now. We'll see. Oh, yeah. Is Big Boss still in here? It's going to show you her scratch. She's following Rufus around some. I don't want to get too zoomed in on this scratch because it is a little bit red and we'll get. What did you run into, girl? That could be some of it too. She might be. Yeah, I'm not so sure that she's not in season. Not so sure. Rufus sure is acting like it. You can always tell who the bull's following around. It's not good. We're just wanting to see what's going on. So Ruth is 17 months old now, so she's plenty old. So you don't want to push your luck in there. Oh man, he can real quick. If he thinks I'm trying to get in there, you know, if he thinks that I'm circling, looking for an opportunity to get over there to her, that's the worst case scenario. As long as he stops every once in a while. Yeah. You can see some of those gouges on Rufus's side right there. He did the same thing to himself. I know where that tree is. It's right over there. It's a big ass hickory tree, and hickories are hard. I guarantee you, they've been staying in there because they've been itching and scratching. And I guarantee you, somewhere in there, in that brush pile, is where she's been got cornered at. Well, look at old Rowdy cleaning on Mama. Gosh dang, he's damn near as tall as she is. That tree stand right behind him has been here for like 15 years. It's grown into that tree a little bit. If I get rid of the leaves and the sugars, there's a lot of cleaning to do. He is pretty good. Rufus is acting squirrely. Got y'all zoomed in. Well pump update is their truck is now broken down, so we're gonna go a different route, I think. So this afternoon we're gonna talk to a couple different people there. Yeah, Rufus is acting like see now he's left Rhonda, so we can see now Rhonda is down there and he's leaving her alone. So now he's up here, and if you watch him, he'll look over where Ruth just went. Now he'd like to stay underneath the shade tree, but I bet you he looks to his left here in just a second. He'll want to keep tabs on her. There is a good breeze right here, though. No, he's gonna come down here. What'd you step on there, bud? He's gonna show me how big and tough he is now. See, he's watching her. They'll tell you which one's doing what, usually. Needs a break. I'm exhausted too. I wish he would have bred back long. Oh, don't worry. She'll come up here next month. They'll be back at it again. Oh my God, we need rain so bad. Like I hadn't been able to even see that net wrap laying up out of the ground. Where I was bulldozing. I need to get in there and get that stuff picked up. We definitely. Roof, you look good though. Oh man. I just said you look good, dude. I didn't say anything else. See, by me moving is respecting him and his space. Now, if I didn't move, there's gonna be a problem. So just go ahead and move, and then saying, I don't want to fight you. Now, if I stood outside of that sun over there, I bet he wouldn't come out of the shade, but maybe. See, he's looking over there at Ruth. Rhonda's down there. Ruth's over there. We'll see which way he ends up going here. He's going to go towards Ruth, I bet you. Yep. He's going to at least point towards her so he can keep an eye on her. Well, Rhonda just didn't ever breed back. She just kept every 22 days. I know it seems like every day, but like every 22 days, he'll follow her for about 3 or 4 days. So once a month, we're spending a week. Rowdy, I don't know. He can just ricochet off of Rufus for the first year or so. But once we see him getting pretty, we can split. We're going to split this field in half right here. Again, so there'll be 2 10-acre fields. Probably put Rufus down here in this bottom. And then we're going to have to build another lane for them to get to the barn from down here. You see how that all works? One field ends up making another lane for another lane for another lane. Lanes are very expensive because of purpose other than for cows to travel down them. But you have to build just as much fence. Yeah, we'll split this off, and I'm thinking my lane I'll build back here for them, back there where that fence is back there, and then they'll be able to walk past each other. Oh my gosh, so much fence. When you build a fence, 10 foot from another fence, because you got to be able to brush hog it. So you want to be able to make it big enough for your tractor to get down. Or we cut it off like a piece of pie. And then it makes the field pretty much damn useless when you do that, because you got a big old wedge down area. Just build another barn. Oh my God, yeah, I know. Well, it's about $5,000 worth of fence, or $30,000 for another barn. So we know what we'll build. I mean, we could put them a run in. The barn will be the hub. It'll be real easy once we get it all finished. This is wedged in there. He's got my strap on top of his back for my tree stand. Scratching his butt cheek on that tree. Oh yeah. Oh, I would love to have another big barn. I'd love to have one down here. But here's the other thing. When we split this field off here, we're going to build another pond. Because we're going to have water down here. You can't just run, I can't just run water lines everywhere. This place is too rocky. It's too much work. And they freeze, bust, break, get torn up, leak, rubbing on rocks. You name it. But I already got my spot picked out right down there for my pond. Oh yeah, there'll be a pond down there. Amanda's already like, you just want to build a new pond. I'm like, I know. I do love building ponds. I mean, it's going to be like the perfect spot too. Like it's going to really make a pretty pond. And I probably use it. Good God. I could probably, that's the kind of limbs he breaks off that people get stabbed on. But right there in that little bowl right there, I'll let the water back up this way. It looks a lot smaller on camera, but that's big right there. It's probably 3 or 4 acres. I probably won't make it near that big, but you can kind of see that hump on that side, hump on this side. I can make my bank way down there. Let the water back up this way. Theoretically, it looks good, but there is some limestone down there. That's concerning. Man, I'll tell you what, with cows, it's pretty hard to make a pond into a swimming hole at all. It takes about 3 acres per cow to keep them from killing the grass. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. These guys right now to 20 acres. Look at that milk coming out of that thing. Look at it. Oh yeah, I'll set my damn camera up and then we can watch the pond building for sure. I'm almost to the point I can set my phone up in the house too. We can do some framing. There's really not much to see in there right now. Rowdy is getting some milk. Oh yeah, me too. Ouch. So rough on mama. He's an aggressive nurser. You see how big that calf is? Like he should be drawing her down. He's trying to swallow and breathe at the same time. He's getting big. Rufus is not going to like this. He's going back to the other side again. Rufus is trying to he's broke that limb right there. That one right over his head. And he's trying to get that damn cedar tree sap smeared around on him. Keeps flies off of him. He grows quick, man. They grow fast on their mama. Wattle calves do not grow fast. It's not bad out here today. Like, it's actually a decent day. I mean, it's in the mid 90s, I'm sure. I haven't seen him nurse those first quarters in a long time, those front quarters. Yeah, after he eats, comes down here and stands, he's generally, he has all them limbs broke off real sharp. And you'll watch him, he'll back up underneath of them. He likes them to scratch his back right there. So he's moving backwards real slow. And those limbs keep the flies off of him and the horse flies. It's more the horse flies. There really isn't any treatment you can put on for horse flies because the horse flies are so big they can stand up off the fly spray. What was that? Am I thirsty for some milk? I don't think Roxanne would let me milk her. Well, I know she would. She tried to kick my head off one time. Horseflies suck. There goes another poop. Another mark spot. Beaver moccasin. Oh, that lady was from up in Alaska. And she sent me beaver moccasins, which I thought was awesome. And she sent me, let me leave service through here. She sent me some moose turds. I don't know who all knows this or not, but moose extremely dry. Extremely dry. And they are apparently great fire starters. So she sent me those with a fire starter. And then she sent me the beaver skin moccasins. I don't really know why. Rufus is going to jump from shade tree to shade tree looking for grass. But man, look at that. It is dry as a popcorn fart. We need some rain bad. What did it say? Oh, I found watch video on this earlier though. Yeah, I had to go to the doctor this morning, so I was like, you know what? I'll just go live for a while today. Sit around and shoot the shit. I need to go down and walk around so many ways. I don't know. I'm telling you, I never even heard of that before. But it was kind of neat because they look like a paper shell pecan. They look like pecans in the bag. Literally, it looked like a bag of pecans to me. And I was like, that's not pecans. It's way too light. And the man was like, I don't know. Then I found a note saying it was moose shit. Pretty cool deer horn. A little igniter there, though. Rufus went from that shade tree to the shade tree. Brent, it's an Alaska thing. They even make jewelry out of moose nuggets. Oh, it was pretty damn cool. Like I tried it out in my fireplace. Sure enough, burned some moose turds. The beaver moccasins, no idea. Look, they're standing out in the sun eating. That tells you how much cooler it is today. The humidity's down too. Yeah, George, man, it's like, I should have already put out a ton of sunflower seeds, but the last couple times I've put a big dove field in, I've ran off my deer that deer season. So I'm like, do I want to dove hunt or deer hunt? No, it didn't smell like poop at all. It was like tiny little bristles of grass that were just so compacted and dry. It did not have any odor to it. What was the question? I missed something. Pickles? Oh man, I'm not gonna have anything put up this year. Did not taste like poop. It was actually like what it reminded me of is deer poop that was just no moisture at all, zero moisture. Very strange. Apparently, when a moose poops, it's super, super dry. What was it? Yeah, apparently they suck all the moisture out of the in their gut. You know that's right, man. Everybody wants to hunt. Everybody wants to help. You know that's right. There'll be some there could be some accidental spillage, from time to time. Nah, I don't have time to mess with it. Like I could, but this place is in the migration path. Like we will get tons of dove here. All you get is I used to right here. That's that giant tree I was telling you about that is growing on the edge of that garden. But I used to go right through here from about where Rufus is through here, and I'd fence it off with an electric fence, and then I would plant this whole thing, about 2 acres of corn or sunflowers or whatever it would be, and then keep the cows out of it. It worked pretty good, but like this year, it's so dry, it wouldn't. You would have had nothing because I don't have any way to irrigate it. He's going on down to the next shade tree. Yeah, I know. Taste poop, tell how far the buffalo are. I think people think that all poop has like a bad smell, like cow poop. Like, right here's some cow poop right here. It does not, like this is dry, but it does not have any kind of odor. It kind of reminds me of the. I mean, it smells like that doesn't smell like anything, but even those right there, it doesn't have any odor to it. These right here, you could sneak into the cinnamon roll, like these here. I mean, it's just all grain, grass, nothing. We used to have cow shit fights, but everybody else did for fun. Okay, I think I'm gonna get out of here in a minute. Rowdy, you've been sucking so long, your tongue's numb and hanging out. Look at his tongue. It's so weird to see Roxanne with a baby that isn't spotted. Cow patty fights, yeah. Go pet him. He ain't gonna let me pet him. He's too busy trying to get him some milk. If he'd suck those first 2 quarters there, he'd get some more. Look at him. He might now. He's in a milk coma. What up, bud? Come on, you shit bird. He's the only one right now that doesn't want much to do with me. They usually come out of it, especially at feeding time. Until they get off the old tit, they can't, they stay pretty much, except for Roro and Ruth. But until they get off the milk and they want a treat with just some feed. Let's see where everybody's going. I haven't watched everybody through the hot time of the day. I mean, I can't believe they're going way out in the open. He will not have horns, nope. We probably won't have much with horns. Not like horns like people want to see. We don't really have any genetics for that. I mean, Rhonda will have some big, her calves will have bigger horns, but short, very short, like a boss kind of. Roro might have some. Whatever we get as far as horns is going to be. Look, he's running down there to Rhonda. He's going to check on Rhonda. He's starting to get a little bit of a bull. Look, he's going to go back there and check. He's starting to get a little bit of a bull personality. Whatever, get the spotted black and white ones. That's what, I don't want a full blood. But right there, Rufus will throw that's a Rosie. She's black and white spotted. He will throw a black and white spotted calf sometimes with Roxanne. Man, I'm not doing goats again. I can't believe they're out there grazing in the wide open. I guess I better put a bale of hay back in here again. That other one they did not like. Of course, I should have fed them this hay that's not as good quality before feeding them a good bale. We'll see, J-Dog. No, Big Bear, I haven't planted any kind of trees yet until I get through a bulldoze and everything I want to and get the grading right on everything. I've learned my lesson. But yeah, I'm going to plant an orchard, a little one, just with a few things. Arkansas is so rough to grow. Like North Arkansas is so hard to grow because we're like right on the line of the frost in the spring. Right when the trees are blooming, we'll get a frost and it'll kill everything. Like we're right on it. Like you'll go maybe 1 out of 4 years before you get a decent crop. And I'm on the north side of the mountain. My place kind of faces north, and it's a little bit colder. He's right down there. Rufus is right there. Yeah, you never know what they're gonna do, but my goats are pretty much impossible to keep in. They're escape artists. We're talking about building a shitload of expensive fence to keep goats in. An Osage orange. I do have 2 Osage orange on this property. Not many though. There's a few walnuts. These are black walnut out here, and there's one little stand of walnut right down there in that corner. There's a couple scattered out here and there, but not many. Yeah, goats, man, I'll tell you what, goats like to eat everything except for grass too a lot of times. Can you eat the oranges? No. It's not an Osage, it's a horse apple is what we call it. Osage orange and a horse apple, same thing. Cows cannot fart. Nope. Very, very little, if any. Horses can fart for minutes at a time. It's just the difference in their gets. Well, goats would rather be down there eating the briars and poison ivy and shit than eating the grass. But when all that's gone, then goats turned everything else. But this is such a big piece of property. I bought like 25 goats put in here one time. Yeah, we all know the story about the goats. They got into my neighbors, got out of this place, went all the way across the mountain, got into my neighbors, butted into my neighbor's big glass door, and all 25 of them moved into his house for a week while he was gone on vacation. And I had to pay for a carpet, 25 goats living in your house for a week. Can you imagine? Yeah, we didn't want to talk about that. Yeah, billy goats are bad to butt their reflection. If they can see the reflection in your truck or a window or anything. Well, I'm assuming that's what happened. I know, man. What's an eye? Shit happens to me. I'm just like, people, I don't, people are like, oh, you're making that up. I'm like, I don't need to make up a story. I have them that actually happen. It's a lot easier to remember details whenever your neighbor calls you um, as angry as he was. You know what I mean? Tell me about it, Hunter. Tell me about it, brother. You get a lot of stories when you do a lot of shit. When you're out here doing a lot of shit, you get a lot of stories. I get out here and do lots of shit. Well, then you get a lot of stories if you live. I don't have to remember them. This shit happened. Like, it's trauma. 25 goats in a house. I didn't have any money trying to buy a carpet. Had to sell the goats to buy all the carpet. Had to do all the treatment on the floor. They'd shit everywhere. Can you imagine that call? I was like, well, my goats are missing. I'm sure they're out in the woods somewhere eating. Well, they're funny now. That took a few years to get over. Um, yeah, that took a year. That took a minute, to rekindle that relationship with that neighbor. But what are you gonna do? You pay for it, you fix it, and you move on. I was trying to think of something else crazy that happened to me. That was pretty crazy. I mean, I think that I don't realize things are as crazy as they are till I tell them. Then everybody's like, "Oh, holy shit!" I'm like, "Yeah, well, pay for it, fix it, move on." Took all the goats that I'd spent a huge chunk on to pay for all the shit they tore up, plus some. So I didn't have the goats or what I spent on them, or what I mean? Great investment, super investment, my kind of investment. I don't ever come out on a deal. Can't wait to watch Rufus become a tomahawk ribeye. Ow, man, that's cute. What a cutie pie jumping in this chat to say something like that. Does your mama know you're home from school today? I bet she doesn't. Let me see what that was. Let's see who that was. I'm going to email your mama right now. I just told her. That guy's got a little. I can picture this person with like 4 whiskers on their upper lip with milk ring. Nailed it. It would be a giant. It would be a giant tomahawk, though, man. It would be so big. It would be probably. It would be 3 times the size of the biggest tomahawk you've ever seen. I mean, we're just discussing the size of it right now, but it would be 3 times because they usually will butcher one at around 1,000 pounds. So 3,000 would be 3 times. God, it would be massive. It'd be as big around as that tree right there, probably. I don't know who all butchers their own beef on here or whatever. But if you let one get too big and you butcher it, it's you think it would be cool to have giant steaks and stuff, but like they butcher things at certain sizes so shit fits in skillets and different things so you can cook it. When you get things too big, nothing fits anymore. You can make one steak. Or like pork chops, you get too big of a hog, everything, your pork chops are gigantic. I went through a phase where I thought that would be cool. It was not cool. You know, when you take everything to the a butcher, they'll ask you how big your family is. So whatever your family is the way they package it. So there's 3 of you, they'll put 3, depending on how big you are. Like me, Amanda, and Paisley, there'd be 2, one big steak, one medium-sized steak, and one small steak. If you have a good butcher. Grass-fed hogs. Tricky Ricky, I don't even know what you're talking about, dude. You on your lunch break, smoking a left-handed cigarette or something? One taken to the butcher, and not unless they're crazy. I don't think I've ever taken anything I've ever raised personally, especially if it was named, for God's sakes, to the butcher. Now, I've had to sell stuff through the years, obviously. Everybody's had to. But I was out of the cattle, hog, everything business for a few years. Now, I've had a few pigs I've had to take. I have 4 kids. You raise them to butcher so you don't have to pay a bajillion dollars at the grocery store. Pork is actually really super cheap. I don't know if people know that or not, but pork is one of the cheapest ones to grow. That's why it's the cheapest in the store. If you can imagine the way they price it in the store versus what you can grow it for. So, you know, you can grow a 500-pound, 600-pound hog, 7 or 8 months, and then it's about 40 cents a pound. Um, it's probably, I think it's 55 cents a pound to have it butchered. We used to feed our pigs beer from the tap, like at these bars where all the beer that runs out of the tap, when they pour the foam off, it'd run down into big old 5-gallon buckets. And my dad would get that, and then we would mix that in with the corn. Man, if you want to make a hog fat, feed them beer. Is there somebody on here I need to block or something? Somebody getting lippy? Chicken is a good Brussels, oh yeah. Um, I fed my pigs a long time ago. Yeah, bread. But we mixed in Randy. I hadn't seen him. I can't see all the comments y'all can see. Um, oh, Nikki got him. Don't worry. Um, what are we talking about? Oh, the beer. If you can find beer to feed a pig, though, oh my gosh, you talk about grow. But it depends on how you like your pork. I like the pork to be really fatty. Some people don't like that. That's right, Randy. Who? Runda. Yeah, I mean, everything is less expensive on the pork part of it. But if you want to grow good pork, it takes a pretty decent feed to go along with them. I was trying to look at them down there. I don't know what they're doing. They're all down there doing some cow stuff. Rufus has made it back over to Rhonda again. I hear tree limbs snapping. So I know Rufus is tangled up in something. I'm not far from grab it. Um, no, not too far from grab it. I don't know what that is exactly. I need to look that up. Rufus is right over there, and he's all tangled up in a tree. You know what? I have not seen a tarantula this year. Not one. But I feel like right about now is when they start coming out because I remember in most of my videos there's leaves on the ground either from the end of summer or from a frost, but I know it wasn't from a frost, so it had to be dry. I'm trying to remember what time of year we've seen them all. I know I've always thought they were leaves moving when you first spot one. Now those suckers will come out. Somebody Google it and see what time of year they come out. I think it's about right now, next month or so. My oldest daughter, catches them. I don't want no part of them. They leave me alone. I leave them alone. It's so dry right now. I had one big cottonmouth at my gate the other day, which was pretty much a shocker since it was nowhere near any water. A big one, right where everybody gets out to open the gate. Yeah, I had to look at it several times to make sure it was a cottonmouth, and hit the old Google camera, and like it was strange because it was in the dust and it had dust all over it. But man, it had the big broad head. Um, it wasn't really identifiable by the time I got to looking at its mouth, but it definitely had things. Definitely had cottonmouth, and Google said it was for sure cottonmouth, and it was kind of on a little hump and some real powder shit all over it. I keep hearing something over here to my right side. I don't know what it is. There's damn wild hogs, probably. Or Earl the squirrel up here. Merle. You had to explain to your husband when you shot a go through a little thunder chicken. Oh yeah, I'll need to go live with that sucker. That's what I was calling it, was the Thunderbird. I mean, it was like, you got to stick with something. You called them Thunder Chicken, and now you're calling it a Thunderbird. I'm like, well, it just comes to me. Their nickname comes to me. I don't pick it. My brain does. We got some giant lizards at our house. Not like they do down in Florida, but everybody's in the brush. The Thunder Chicken. Yeah, I think I really liked water. That's the first time it's been had a big enough water pan to get into. He right where he's at right now is where there's a video of him hung in a grapevine, and he bends a great big ass red oak tree over till it breaks, and then he rams the ranger. I'm trying to tell Amanda to go, and she's like, "What?" Giggling, and I'm like, "No, you don't understand. Like, we're gonna die." That's part of that being sarcastic all the time. I'm like, "No, start the ranger. I'm gonna walk this way. You go that way." She's like, "Ha ha ha ha." What? I'm like, "Where somebody's gonna die?" Blame it on the brain. It's that layer of Pepsi syrup on my brain that clogs it up. Good. There's about 1 million frogs up there. Let's walk back up. I'm gonna get off here. Actually, go be a productive citizen today, even though I really don't plan on being. It's so hot right now. The chiggers aren't even out. The chiggers burn up. I've never seen that happen before, but I think they are. We can look for a snake. I did see a giant snake on this pond, and he's confirmed that he has not been taken out yet. Whoo, coming out of that shade, got hot. I'm not reading anything right now, so hold comments. I was wanting to see if these damned hogs been coming down here and getting in my pond. Somebody needs to watch for snakes. Oh shit, there's something moving around. Great. That looked like a big old fish. I'll tell you what, it's a little bit murky. She's murky. There's where Rufus goes down. It's better to have a little moss on it than just the sun just pounding on that water, causing it to cook. Right over here's what that damn snake was. You're never supposed to look for snakes because you'll find one. He was right in there. Rufus used to crush all my chairs, so I started buying those metal ones at yard sales. And he still flips them over, but he has a lot harder time tearing them up. Is there anybody still on here? I was walking around talking to myself. See them damn leopard frogs jumping in? That's what them snakes are after. But you see the frogs by the millions? Can y'all see those frogs? I can't see the comments, but you see those millions of frogs? That's what the freaking snakes are after. I don't know what kind those are, but you would think that the crows and shit would eat them. They must have a little bit of poison on them of some sort. For some reason, animals aren't eating them because there's millions. Look at them. had some bad experiences with those big leopard frogs. One come jumping past me, and here come a great big cottonmouth. I'm holding the phone and the camera, phone stand, and beat the thing. That's what we'd have to go with today. There's where Rufus has been standing. I don't know why he's been standing in here. Oh, look, there's a natural corn dog. You guys ever try one of these with mustard? Oh, yeah. It's a corn dog that grows in the wild. That's an extra long one right there. That's like when you get at the baseball field or something. Drag strip. I don't see any snakes. It's too hot. I'm really not looking for snakes though. Terrible spot right there to stand. But I don't see where anybody's been, where the hogs have been in there. Ouch. All right, did y'all see anything? Poor frogs, hell, they're living their best life down there. They're just in there jumping around in that mud. You bit. I have a friend that's been bit twice by a copperhead. Bad luck. No rocks here. It looks pretty smooth, but that whole bank right there. Oh my God, the rocks. All the way up to the old house. It's Arkansas. I see people digging post holes and drilling through all this black soil, and I'm like, well, you wouldn't do that in Arkansas. Takes a lot of feeding hay on top of that shit to get any organic matter at all to grow grass. Looks terrible down here. I'm embarrassed right now. Where the hell did that tree limb come from? Somewhere. Looks terrible. Part of it. I was looking at pictures of last year in August. If you guys go back to my videos of last August, and you can look and see the difference in this property. It was like, whoa. I feel like I was carrying a kid, not doing head support right there. But last August, there was grass like knee deep. This August, not so much. Am I on a well? Yeah, but we don't have a pump yet. I'll be honest with you. If I were y'all, I'd think I was lying to you by now. But I'm actually telling the truth. The pump guys kind of lost track of me. I got a hold of them yesterday, and their equipment's broke down. But I'm gonna be honest with you. We're gonna go a different route now because it's just too much money. Too easy. I've got it all set up towards an easy job. Too much money, and I want my water. I'm ready. I jumped in there and knocked out my end of it. Got all my water lines done. I want my pump. I wouldn't be able to irrigate with it. Maybe around my house, but I'm ready to see some water come out of the ground. I've got too much money invested in this thing. So I'm gonna call a couple other places today and see what their timeline is. And I bet you when I tell them I'm all ready, power everything. Our lines are all underground. All you gotta do is come set the pump. I bet you I'll find somebody pretty quick. Well, guys, that was a good long live. I really didn't expect to be on that long, but that's how it goes sometimes. Y'all have a good day. It's actually pretty nice out here today. I'm gonna go clean up in the house. That dark roof, that dark material Amanda picked, pretty brutal in the summertime. Pretty brutal. You're welcome. Y'all guys have a great week. We just have one more day left. Just spend money and put down sod. Yeah, I wish. I wish. Give me about 40 acres of sod.